Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna try to film this unedited. Didn't even really put on makeup except for some lipstick because I have a big old bump on my lip, but I didn't want to wait to film this. I was supposed to film this like tomorrow, but it's been a stressful couple, well, not even days, months. So if you can't tell from the title of this video, I am a recent college graduate. Technically I graduated in December, but I am walking in my graduation next week. I actually have 2 degrees. One of them is like a cultural studies, history, black studies major, and then the other one is a film major. And I skipped my film graduation in December because I was struggling. So I'm going to my liberal arts major graduation because I feel like I have to put an end on this chapter of my life. I wasn't gonna go. I'm not the type of person that's big on like graduations or big events or things like that. It doesn't really mean that much to me, even though I will complain if I don't get my chords and things that I'm supposed to. But I felt like I needed to stamp an end on this chapter in order for me to be able to move on with my life. I don't know what I'm doing with my life on that point. You know, I didn't really like either of my majors. I actually started out undeclared for 2 years. I went to the University of Texas, huge university in Texas if you haven't heard of it. There's like 40, I should know this number, I was a tour guide, 40-something thousand undergraduate students, 50,000 students in total, 8,000 students when you first start out in your freshman class. And I was fortunate to get in because here in Texas we have a rule where if you're in the top something of your class, I think now it's like top 7, you automatically get in. I went to a very small school. To be top 7%, you had to be like top 6 people. So I was like right outside that bubble. So I had to get in based on my merit, and fortunately I did get in. And then there starts the worst 3 years of my life. Not really. I don't know if anyone has ever seen any videos on my channel. I don't know if I took them down because I was tempted to, because it's a whole range of randomness. That's basically my personality. My channel right now, it's my personality, it's randomness. I don't know what I'm doing any of the time. I just like to do a whole bunch of random things. But I moved to Texas when I was 13, and it was a really hard transition going from a very small town where, you know, race wasn't an issue, you know, it was half black. I went to a small school, it was a private school, but it was just like, it was a private school because the public schools just were not great. And so you sent your kids to a private school and it wasn't like weird for you to go to a private school or anything, you know. And then I moved to Texas, where that was where I like to say I discovered my blackness, because before I didn't realize that there was a difference in being black and being white and being Hispanic and being Asian. Like, I didn't know. Like, I knew people had different races, but like it wasn't a big deal, you know. So I struggled through 4 years of high school, and I said I'm not struggling through 4 years of college, so I did 3. You know, college was another different ballgame when it came to race. I'm not trying to make this a race video, but I'm just giving you my story. And it was a time where I learned that in black communities there was a big divide between amongst themselves, and then a big divide between other races, and that wasn't something I had experienced, you know, because like I said, in middle school it was half and half black, half white. You know, we had other races mixed in, but it was predominantly black and white. And then in high school I was the only black girl in my high school for a year. And so that was a year, actually probably like 2 years. When I was a freshman there was more, but they all graduated. But I was the only black girl in my class, not in my class, in my high school for a good year and a half. And then college, you know, so in high school I could tell I was the black one, you know, I was the odd one out. They'd ask me stupid questions, and it's fine, like, it's fine, I understand, it's just from a place of ignorance. And then in college is when it got real tough, you know. I didn't feel black enough for the black people. I was told I wasn't black enough sometimes, or I like to hang out with other races, you know, like I'm the type of person that mingles with everybody no matter who you are. I don't care what you look like, I don't care what you sound like, I don't care what you do, what you don't do. Like, I'm just that person that I'll be a friend to anybody, you know. I'm always a friend to the people who don't have friends. That's just like my automatic personality, because I kind of like to ostracize myself a little bit. So I'll go make friends with people who don't have friends and become their friends. But yeah, in college it was just different between, that was the first time I think people had been racist to me, like outright, you know, just walking on the streets of Boston, or that was the first time when I realized that I was quote unquote light skinned, because I didn't know that was a thing. When people started asking me stupid questions like, are you mixed, or yada yada yada, you know, just like weird things. And you know, that's when I felt like I had to fit in with my blackness for a while, and I realized that's not me. I wasn't trying to be woke. No, okay, now people are gonna take that out of context. Not that I wasn't trying to be woke, but I wasn't trying to go overboard and put on this facade of, you know, just a lot of, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this so people don't get mad, which, you know, screw that, but in college, a lot of black students who go to predominantly white institutions, or PWIs as we call them, they are trying to find a form of self-identity that they can feel comfortable in, you know, because they're not surrounded by their peers all the time. And so what happens is you'll have black organizations on campus, or you have groups, which if you're already a small population, I don't know why there needs to be so many, because we had about like 50 and there was only like 5,000, not 5,000, yeah, 5,000 of us probably like 5,000 of us total, but black people, us, we tend to kind of ostracize ourselves a little bit and like try to like make sure it's known that we are black. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I was a black studies major, you know, I'm blacker. My family made fun of me, like I came back blacker per se. People even noticed, and the way I talked, they said I came back blacker, but that's just because I wasn't putting on what I call my white girl voice, my assimilating voice, which if you want to hear my assimilated voice, this is my assimilated voice. This is how I talked when I was in high school. I put it on a higher pitch, but I came back my normal self, you know, like who I normally was. And I didn't feel the need to like get over involved, and you know, if any racist incident happened on campus, I wasn't the first person to jump up and say something, because there were people like that, you know. I was the one who was in organizations that would host town halls, you know, to try to talk and see what was going on. I didn't need to jump first, think later. And I feel like that's what a lot of students do if they go to a predominantly white institution. Instead of trying to have conversations, they'll jump first. It'll be more of a yelling match than a conversation. And I understand where they're coming from, because you're frustrated. Don't trust me, I was frustrated many times. Super frustrated going to another place where I am the minority. But you know, that's life, and I think I had gotten more used to it because, you know, of my high school experience, of just things I had gone to. I was used to having to be in a space like that. You know, some of these students came from a space where it was predominantly black, and so they weren't used to this. But this is how I grew up. So I knew how to handle myself. I knew how to do things in a way that was going to promote change rather than that was going to promote more struggle, that was going to promote just more tension. And you know, not knocking any of them, you know, I love my school. We've had things such as do-rag day, where we wore do-rags and bonnets. I didn't do it because that's just too hot to be walking out in Texas wearing a do-rag or a bonnet with as much hair as I got. Like, that's just a lot. But you know, props to them for doing something, you know, to rally around the community. And they just elected the first two African-American student body president and vice president, and they were two of my great friends. They just got elected this past couple months to be the student body presidents of the University of Texas. And so, you know, we've made a lot of change in the small social ways. It's not always necessary to do those big grand gesture things, because those don't always go out how you want them. But this video is getting sidetracked. I told you I wasn't trying to make this a race thing, but it was part of my college experience, so I felt like I had to talk about it. But to the point where college, I just graduated. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't have the best college experience. I've dealt with a lot of anxiety. I've dealt with a lot of depression since moving when I was 13, and it all got worse in college, because that's when people are trying to force you to become somebody. And I was 17 when I went to college. I didn't know who I was. I've always been a younger student because of my age, like when I was born, and my parents let me go to school early because I was ready. And you know, I've always been a smart student. a good student in the sense of I'm gonna get stuff done even if I don't want to do it, and I didn't really have to try. I didn't have to try in college either, but in high school versus college, trying or not trying, you can tell the difference in your grades. But in college, you know, I was undeclared for the first year, and it was hard, the first year and a half rather. Trying to figure out what major you want to go into. Now, if I could choose any major that I could have gone into, I would have chose theater and dance, but my whole high school experience, like when I was in high school, all I did was engineering. I did robotics, and I did triathlon competitions. I was even voted to be the next Steve Jobs at my high school, and so I felt like I needed to go into engineering. So I applied to engineering, and then that's how I ended up going undeclared, because I didn't get accepted in UT engineering. I got accepted to other schools, but I really wanted to go to Austin. Well, I didn't want to go to college in the first place, but that's a whole nother story for another day. And so I decided to just stay undeclared for a year. I tried to transfer into film after the first year, but there was something wrong with my application because of my classes, because I had it incomplete. It was the whole story. So then I ended up transferring into liberal arts, which is where I got my cultural studies, black studies major. And then I ended up also getting into film. So at one point I was pre-med and pre-law. But then I ended up dropping those, and then I just ended up staying with my film, and then I ended up almost having to drop out of my cultural studies, African American studies major. And then that was a whole experience. So long story short, I ended up graduating in 3.5 years. I would have done 3, but that half year I ended up going to California for a study abroad program, which is where my only college debt came in. I am fortunate enough to not have a lot of college debt because of something called the Hazelwood program, as well as a lot of scholarships that my mom helped me find and helped me apply for. You know, without my mom, I wouldn't have been able to do college. You know, she helped me find scholarships, she helped me with applications, she did a lot, and so I was fortunate enough to help my brother do that same thing when I wasn't as busy. And so now he's going to U of H. I think this is their sign. I think, what's UT's? Hook 'em. This is theirs. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Whatever. So, alright. I keep getting off track. See, this is how my brain goes. I start getting off track and it's whatever. But, ended up graduating in 3.5 years. By the end of that time, I was emotionally drained, physically drained, mentally drained. I had a hard last year in terms of mentally. I think I overdid myself. I definitely overdid myself, you know, trying to do things that I hadn't done throughout the entire experience. And I kind of just overexerted myself, and a lot happened emotionally. A lot happened between me and people, and I was happy to be going to California for that last semester to get away from the campus, and it took me a while to go back. I still have not technically set foot on campus. I will set foot on campus next week, but since I left in September, I have not set foot on the campus because it's just the bad experiences kind of piled one on top of each other throughout the years, and it kind of came to a big explosion that last semester that I was on campus. And now that I do have my degrees, like I said, surprisingly I ended up graduating with both of them, which in 3.5 years. Props to me. I keep looking at this thing, I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to make sure it's still recording every time I look over there. I didn't know what I was doing. I was fortunate enough to be able to come back home. I still had a room. It's a mess now because everything from my 2 apartments that I had in college got thrown into my room, and so I still haven't dealt with that. Apartment's worth of stuff got thrown into a single room. It's a hot mess. But I was fortunate enough to be able to come back home. So for a month I did nothing. Literally I did nothing, trying to figure out what I'm doing. And then my parents kept bugging me, so I decided to apply to like small job. Well, I applied to some like scams on LinkedIn, which be careful if you're looking on LinkedIn, there are a couple scams there. But I ended up applying to Target, where I now work as a barista at Starbucks. Not something that I thought I would be doing, but in my brain, it's better to do that than have to commit to a job, because a lot of these jobs want you to commit for like a year. It's better to do that than commit to a job that I know I didn't want to do. Here comes the whole spiel about, now I've graduated, what am I doing? I'm probably going to put a timestamp to this part of the video because I know I just rambled on the first part of the video. So hello if you just joined me back in this section of the video. I'm the type of person who I'm good at whatever I do. Not as in, oh, I'm good at everything. No, as in, if I am doing something, I am going to try my absolute hardest at whatever that thing is. I am going to search, I'm going to research, I'm going to be the best that I can be. Because I know if I'm being the best that I can be, that's better than a lot of people not trying, you know? And so no matter what I do, I'm always going to be the best that I can at that thing. And that's my whole life. That's how I've been. Even if, you know, I didn't like school, but I was the best that I could do at school. College was a different story because I really didn't want to be there. I really didn't care. I knew I was going to graduate anyway. So I was the best that I can be, was not caring. But I applied, got the job. I'm a barista now. And it's to the point where now they're like, oh, we want you to like move up a little bit, you know, help with these things. There's a whole lot of transition going, yada, yada, yada. And right as I'm kind of making this decision of I'm ready to move on, I don't know what I'm doing. I am a very creative person. I was a film major. I was a history major. You may not think of history as being a creative major, but it really is. Both of these majors are very creativity driven things. And when I was in California, when I was in LA for that semester, I remember the first day they asked us, what do you want to do? What are your goals? And I said, my goal is to win an EGOT. For those who don't know what an EGOT is, it's an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. I would love to win a MacBagot, you know, be like Lin-Manuel, who would still won away. But, you know, it's the Pulitzer and the MacArthur Award. And, I mean, my goal is just, when I say that, I don't know if I literally mean I want to win a MacBagot or I want to win an EGOT. But what I mean is I want to dabble in all of those areas because those are all things that I'm interested in. I love music, I love film, I love television, I love interactive things, I love, you know, theater. I love all of those creative things, and when anybody asks me what I could do if I could have any job, I say I want to be creative. Let's get creative. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do, and if I had all the money in the world, that is what I would do. Whatever I wanted to do. And some people understand that, some people don't. They're like, well, you have to choose one thing. And that's what bothers me, is that I, you know, to get ahead in this life, you have to choose one thing and decide to do really good at that one thing and yada yada. And I'm just like, that's so annoying because that's not what I want to do. I don't like to stay focused on one thing for such a long time. You know, I don't want to spend a year doing something and not be able to do anything else. You know, I want to be able to go film somewhere for 6 months, but at the same time, I'm writing music. I'm making an album. While also on the side, I've been writing a play that I want to be produced, which I have been writing a play. It's a musical. But anyway, like, I want to be able to do so many things that I want to do. But that's not how this life works, you know? That's not how our society is set up. I'm a college graduate. What's expected for me next is to either go get another degree or to go get a real job. But I was like, I'm gonna go work at Starbucks for a little bit because I needed a break. I needed a break from doing what other people told me to do. I needed to do something that I wanted to do. Even if it's not necessarily something that I really want to do, I need to do something for me to make everybody else be quiet for just a little bit. But now that all of my friends are graduating, they're all have, like, one of my best friends, he has a job in Australia now. He's going to go live in Australia for at least like 2 years. Another girl that I know, she got a job offer from our campus job that we used to work, and she's moving to Houston. You know, all these people are doing things with their lives, and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. And it annoys me so much. I know it annoys my best friend when I tell her, I'm struggling, I don't know what to do, I'm having a breakdown. Yeah. I know she hates me at this point. She doesn't actually hate you. I love you, Juri. But it's just like, I want to do what I want to do. You know, if I could do anything, like I said, I would be creative. And, you know, YouTube is a place for that. But, like, you can't really make money off of that. And not that life is about making money, but I really want to move out of my parents' house. I'm done. I can't live here anymore. I mean, I love them. I love you, mom and dad. Love you. But I've been here too long. And my mom has a new job that's going to keep her away. My dad's never home anyway because he has another job that keeps him away. And, you know, my brother's going off to college. So, you know, living at home is not going to, I mean, I'm going to be by myself most of the time. But, like, I'm done. I'm done. I can't deal with living at home anymore. Just because I need my own apartment at this point, because I've had my own apartment for the past 3 years, so I just need somewhere else where I can go be me. And, you know, I wish that this world wasn't set up to where you have to keep going and going and going and going. You have to live in this capitalistic society where, you know, you have to have a normal job. You have to have a 9-to-5 job, basically, if you want to live a stress-free life. And you know, I don't care about living a stress-free life. I just want stress to come from someone other than me, because at this point I'm the only one stressing myself out, you know. Like, I'm the only person that I'm letting down at this moment, because if I wanted to stay at my job, I could work my way up and do what I wanted to do. If I wanted to go get another, like, a real person job, if I wanted to get a job in my major, I could do that. I could easily do that. I have 2 degrees. I graduated early with 2 degrees, and I'm only 21. Like, I graduated right after I turned 21, you know? I was gonna be 20 when I graduated, but then I decided to go to LA for a semester. And, you know, it's not like I have all the time in the world, but it just feels like I'm being forced to do what I don't want to do. And I don't know if this video made any sense. You know, I don't know if anything that I've said has made any sense. But I make videos all the time on my phone that I record and talk to myself because I don't have anybody else to talk to, or because I've exhausted my best friend's ear. Also, she's gonna get mad at me for calling her my best friend, but she needs to get over it because she is my best friend at this point, because we plan on moving together and she just needs to get over it. We are best friends. That is it. That is the end of the story. But I just sometimes I feel bad because I know I talk her ear off, and it's like, I know she gets annoyed, but it's fine. She loves me. I love her. And I know she understands, and I know she understands. She's frustrated because she can tell how frustrated it makes me. And so maybe I'll figure out what I'm doing. I don't know. I think this video was more just a vent about my life, the world, how it's set up, so that, you know, you have to do it the way that they want. And I just wish it wasn't. You know, I don't necessarily wish life was easy. I don't wish it was easy to do whatever you wanted. At the same time, I do, because then I get to be living a dream of doing whatever I wanted when I woke up. You know, hey, let me go film a photo shoot today. Oh, look, it's a great day. Let's go film a mini movie today. Oh, a song popped in my head. Let me just go to the recording booth and record this. Some of this also comes from my own social anxiety of not liking to talk to people, because I know people. Like, I'm a film major. I know film students. I know people who make music, but I just don't like asking people for favors sometimes. Yeah, so there was really no point to this. Maybe someone who will see this who needs to see this. If you want more rants, I can do that. I'm good at it. But I'm gonna try to do some things that I want to do. I'm confused. I don't even know at this point. But you know what? Let's make a promise. Okay? Pinky promise. See this pinky? Is it gonna focus on pinky, or just gonna focus on my face? Boom. Look. Pinky promise. Take your pinky and hook it. There we go. Pinky promise that we are going to do what we want to do. Also, do you see this? I can't even paint my nails in my new job. I don't know if you saw that, but I got hurt on the job. I got hurt. And I can't paint it to cover it. Anyway, pinky promise that we're all gonna start doing things that we want to do, because it makes no sense that we have to do what everybody else tells us to do. It makes no sense that because of the other older generations, we went through the Great Depression, we went through all of this, the crash, the financial crisis, all of this, only for us to have to work for the rest of our lives doing things that are boring. No, I am not about that life, and I have gotten hyped. So, I don't know what's next. I guess we'll see. We'll see if I make videos doing what I want to do. You might get another rant somewhere down the line. So yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm done.